Have you ever fought over something, maybe with a sibling or a friend, or you saw something at the store and you really wanted it to be yours? Well, in this book, a bunch of forest animals find something that they all really want. Let's read Mine together. Mine by Candace Flemming, illustrated by Eric Roman. Let's read Mine. In a tall, tall tree, at the tippy top, hung a single red apple, just about to drop. Along skittered Mouse. An apple, squeaked she. How divine. When it tumbles to the ground, it'll all be mine. And she zippity-eeked beneath a fallen leaf to wait. And now these bubbles are like thought bubbles, or dreaming. She's dreaming. She's thinking about being with that apple and having that apple all to herself. Mine! Along bounced Hare. Looky there, sniffed he. A crisp, crunchy lunch. Every bite meant for me to nibble, nabble, munch. And he hippity-boinged into the tall grass to wait. Now he's thinking about it. Mine! Along padded Fox. Whoopee! Yipped he. My nose does not deceive. I'll soon be eating supper with patience and a breeze. And he waggity dashed into a hollow log to wait. Mine! Along trotted Deer. Delicious! Shuffed she. Juicy, red, and sweet. Come down, Mr. Apple, this tummy needs a treat. And she trippity-skipped into a thorny bush to wait. Mine! All these animals want this apple so bad. Oh, what is this guy? A long-lumbered bear. Nummy-nums, growled he. See that hanging there? My snack, my bite, my morsel. No way I'm gonna share. And he stompity-flopped beneath a pile of rocks to wait. Mine! He wants that apple so bad. Who's gonna get it? Along whooshed the wind. Whoosh. Whoo, huffed the wind. The tree began to sway. Whoa, puffed the wind. Snap! The apple broke away. Who's gonna get it? Down, 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 down. It plopped to the ground. Out darted Mouse, out darted Hare, out darted Fox, then Deer, then Bear. Mine, 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 mine! They all want this apple. Oh, they're fighting. Should we do fighting music? I'm not very good at this. But whoa, whoa, boing, 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 the apple, it's rolling away. Oh, and it comes upon. What kind of animal is this? A possum, I think. A possum. Mine, said the possum. You ready for a funny part? I like this part. Watch this. Ours! A worm who was already living in the apple and eating the apple from the inside popped out. And him and the possum say ours. They are going to share this apple. None of the animals in the whole book got the apple until the end when the possum and the worm get it. And this is the end of Mine. Thank you guys so much for reading Mine with me. It's a good reminder at the end that sometimes the best way to enjoy something is to share it with a good friend. I'll see you guys next time on Dad's Read Along Stories. I want you to imagine this with me. Imagine you're walking, maybe you're on a walk with your mom or your dad, whatever, and you see in front of you a big pile, a big puddle of mud. What do? Do you jump in the mud and have some fun? Or do you run around the mud? Let's see what these kids do in today's book, Mud. Like I said, today we're reading Mud by Annie Bailey and illustrated by Jen Corasi. Let's read Mud. I love mud. Charlie, do you like mud? Cool. Gloopy, gloppy, gorgeous mud. Oozy, smoozy, soupy mud. Stomp it, poke it, squeeze it, whack it, pack it into bricks, and stack it. Dude, I did not know there was so much you can do with mud. There's so much. Heave it high and watch it splat. Throw it at your sleeping cat. Oh no. No, not the cat. Never ever at the cat. Meow. Serve the specials of the day in your mucky mud cafe. Pies and donuts, squishy stew. Decorate a cake or two. A mud cake. Do you want to eat a mud cake? That does not sound good. Just make sure you never chew it. You'll regret it if you do it. Oh, it's all pretend. They don't really eat the mud. That's good. When you tire of your cooking and you're sure that no one's looking, whoosh, smash, ah, bash, thwump, clash, yikes, crash. Little sis has perfect aim. Time to play a different game. She threw mud from a tree down on her brother's head. Don't do that. That's not very nice. Paint a portrait of your cat. Sculpt a hairdo or a hat. Dig a murky, marshy lake. Slither through it like a snake. Make an angel. Slip and slide. Jump and roll and swim and glide. Dinner's ready. Come and get it. Hurry, kiddos. Wait a minute. Eek! Okay, they're trying to go in the house. Mother jumps behind the screen. Don't come in until you're clean. Grab the hose and let it fly. Water diamonds in the sky. Blurble, squirble, blop and glop. Squilchy, squelchy, squlop and flop. Scrub-a-dub, all clean again. Time to go inside, but then... Drip, drop, splish, splosh, squish, squash, squish, squash. Mud! Oh, they jumped back in the mud. They got muddy, they got clean, then the water they were getting clean with made them even more mud, so they got muddy again. The end. Playing in the mud can be super fun, but remember, if you're gonna go back inside, get washed off, get clean, and your mom will be so happy. Thanks for reading Mud with me, and I'll see you next time on Dad's Read Along Stories. Have you ever felt unlucky before? Like everything just is not going your way. Well, I know a duck, and her name is Susan, and she feels unlucky. Let's read Lucky Duck together. Lucky Duck. Susan the duck was feeling a bit unlucky. The roller skates she ordered online were 2 sizes too big. Darn. I have the worst luck, said Susan, as she pulled on another pair of socks. Just then, the doorbell rang. Do, do, do! Congratulations! It's your lucky day, said the wolf at the door. You've won. I did? I won? Asked Susan. What did I win? You have won this fabulous pot, says the wolf. Perfect for making soup. Congratulations again. You are one lucky duck. Susan did feel lucky. It was a very nice pot. A little big for her kitchen, but still very nice. Thank you, she said to the wolf. The rest of the morning, she felt very lucky. But just before lunch, her luck turned. Her kitchen light bulb burned out. Of all the bad luck, said Susan as she got a new bulb and her ladder. Then the doorbell rang. Congratulations, it's your lucky day, said the wolf. You've won. But, said Susan, I already won. I already have a pot. Of course, said the wolf. And now you have won these wonderful onions. Great for soup. What a lucky duck you are. This wolf seems a little sneaky. a little suspicious. "Oh," said Susan. She liked onions and she liked soup. This was a lot of onions to eat all by herself, but still, she felt lucky. "Thank you again, Mr. Wolf," Susan called as she carried the onions to her cupboard. A little while later, she was making a sandwich when she saw that her pickle jar was empty. "No pickles!" cried Susan. "What bad luck!" But she felt better after the wolf showed up with a big bunch of celery. Why does this wolf keep bringing her stuff for her soup? By the afternoon, Susan was feeling unlucky. She had lost her favorite marble. But then the wolf brought her carrots, and she felt lucky again. "Maybe I will make that soup," thought Susan. That evening, Susan invited some friends to share her soup. While she was taking the phone, she discovered a nest of hornets in the tree behind her house. "Just my rotten luck," she said. She was in the kitchen looking for her bug spray when she heard a knock on the door. "It's open! Come in!" yelled Susan. "Who do you think it is? Do you think it's the wolf again?" "Hello, duck," said the wolf. "Are you making the soup?" "Yes," said Susan. "Thanks to you. I've added the onions, the celery, and the carrots to the big pot. I invited some friends for dinner, and you should join us. I think it will be a very nice soup." "Yes, I'm sure it will," said the wolf. "So what's the big prize this time?" asked Susan. "Duck soup," said the wolf. Susan gulped. "Duck soup? That's right," said the wolf. "Today is my lucky day." I knew he was suspicious. The wolf snarled. He grinned at Susan with his jagged teeth. "Duck soup is my favorite dish." "Oh no," yelped Susan. "My luck has run out." And then the wolf slipped on Susan's marble, and he fell head first into the pickle jar. Then he banged into the ladder, clang, lost his balance, and jammed his foot into one of Susan's 2 sizes too big roller skates. Pop! Susan gasped as the wolf flew out of the back door, slammed into a tree, and smacked right into the hornet's nest. Bonk! And then that rotten wolf rolled down the hill, never to be seen again. Just then, the doorbell rang. A lot just happened here. Susan's friends had arrived for dinner. "Welcome," said Susan. "The soup is almost ready." Susan looked around the table and smiled. She felt very, very lucky. The end. A lot just happened. She thought she was unlucky, then she thought she was lucky because she was getting free stuff, then she was unlucky again because the wolf wanted to eat her and put her into soup, but then at the end she realizes she is lucky because she has good friends and a lot to be thankful for. Thank you guys for reading Lucky Duck. I'll see you next time on Dad's Read Along Stories. Welcome to Radiator Springs. Today on Dad's Read Along Stories, we are reading Look Out for Mater from Disney Pixar, The World of Cars. Join me as we rev our engines and read an awesome book. Look Out for Mater. Adapted by Andrea Sanchez and illustrated by Ivan Studi. Times had changed in Radiator Springs. Once it was a sleepy little town. Now cars came from all over the world to visit the new racing headquarters of Lightning McQueen. The famous race car liked all the attention he got from his fans. But what he really enjoyed was spending time with his new friends. Lightning's 2 closest friends were Mater and Sally. Mater was a rusty tow truck with a silly sense of humor. He and Lightning McQueen were very different, but they had quickly become best buddies. Sally was Lightning's girly friend, as Mater often said. She was caring and smart. Lightning loved driving around with Sally by his side. One day, Sally and Lightning drove to a cliff overhanging a gravel pit. "That seems like a fun place to race," said Lightning. "I'll have to bring Mater there." "Please don't," Sally begged. "I'm always warning Mater that this place is dangerous. I don't want to worry while I'm out of town the next few days. Promise me you'll look out for Mater while I'm away?" Back in town, Lightning was sadly rolling along Main Street when Mater came up beside him. "Ah, shoot. Are you moping 'cause Miss Sally went away?" Mater asked his friend. "You need some Mater-style fun." Even though Lightning wasn't in the mood, he knew he'd better go along. After all, he had promised Sally that he would look out for Mater. Before long, Mater was speeding toward a grassy hill. "Slow down!" yelled Lightning, but Mater kept on going. The tow truck honked his horn and flew over the hill with a big grin. Next, Mater drove down a winding dirt road, backward. "You're crazy!" Lightning called to him. "Turn around!" "Nah, it's more fun when you're looking the other way," Mater said, chuckling. As the sun began to set, Mater insisted on going to one last place. The gravel pit. "We can't go down there," Lightning said. "I promised Sally." Before the race car could even finish his sentence, Mater was revving his engine and speeding around the pit. "Come on down," cried Mater. "This is fun." Lightning realized that if he wanted to look out for Mater, he better stay close to him, so the race car slowly inched his way down the slippery slope. Mater rushed by, leaving Lightning behind in a cloud of dust. Just then, the two friends heard a loud ahem. An angry bulldozer was coming up behind them. "Stop messing up my gravel," he yelled. "This pit is not for playing in." "Gulp, guess it's time to go," cried Lightning. "Right behind you, buddy," replied Mater. The next day, Mater had a surprise for his friend. Lightning followed Mater to the gravel pit. "No way," shouted Lightning. "Let's find a safe place to have fun." "Shh," whispered Mater as he rolled past the snoring bulldozer. "Big Bull's sleeping. And anyway, this time we won't even touch the gravel." Before Lightning could stop him, Mater rode onto some rails that had been set up to help move gravel from one end of the pit to the other. The race car watched as Mater zoomed up and down the rails with a big smile on his face. The tow truck honked and hooted as he whooshed around the turns. Lightning knew he should stop Mater. He had promised Sally, but it looked like such fun. Lightning had to try, too. Lightning made his way to the top of the track. He revved his engine and took off. Ka-chow! It was fantastic. "I told you it was fun," Mater yelled. "But Sally's right about this place being dangerous," said Lightning. "Let's get going before something goes wrong." But as the sun began to set, Mater insisted on one more ride. After a while, there was a loud thwack. "You okay, buddy?" Lightning called into the darkness. Suddenly, a floodlight lit the gravel pit. A booming voice shouted, "What is going on here?" Big Bull had woken up to find Mater hanging by his tow cable. Luckily, Mater wasn't hurt, but he was stuck. "I can get you down," Big Bull fumed, "but I'll have to break your tow cable to do it." Once Mater was free, he was as quiet as could be. What kind of tow truck was he without his cable? Lightning felt bad too. He should have done a better job looking out for Mater. The next night, Sally came back to town. "Mater, what happened to you?" she gasped. When she found out that him and Lightning McQueen had gone to the gravel pit, she was very angry. "Lightning tried to warn me," said Mater. "I should have been a better friend and listened to him." He started to cry. "You could have been hurt really bad," Sally said. "Thankfully, we can get that tow cable fixed." Mater smiled and turned to his red friend. Then we can go out for more Mater-style fun. Sally frowned. Lightning couldn't help laughing. This time I picked the place. I'll show you how to have Lightning McQueen-style fun without getting hurt. The end. That was a good book. It's really good to have best friends, but one of the best things you can do for your friend is help them make some good decisions. Lightning tried, but Mater kind of had a hard time with that. But they ended off on a good note at the end of the story. Thanks for reading. Look out for Mater, and I'll see you next time on Dad's Read Along Stories. God is in the mental Have you ever been called a chicken? Not like a bird, but like a chicken. Chicken is sometimes referred to somebody who is a little scared to do something. Me personally, I don't think we should ever call people names, but it helps us understand today's book called Chicken Chickens. I know, it's a funny name. Welcome back, guys. Let's read Chicken Chickens. When I read this name, I was like, what? Chicken Chickens? What could this be about? Now I understand, and I think when you're done reading it, you'll understand as well. Let's read Chicken Chickens together. One fine day, Mother Hen took her 2 little chickens to the playground for the very first time. There are so many animals here. I see frogs, turtles, other birds, dogs, cats, frogs, pigs. Wow. The little chickens were a little scared. There was so much going on all around them. Sometimes I feel scared when there's a lot going around me as well. They watched 2 dogs going up and down on the seesaw. Hey, chickens, called the dogs. Do you want to play with us? No, thank you, they replied. We're just little chickens. Remember, chicken can mean you're scared to do something new, right? So they're being a little chicken, but they're also literally chickens, which makes this book so funny. They watched some pigs spinning around on the merry-go-round. Hey, chickens, called the pigs. Do you want to get on with us? Oh, no, they replied. We might get dizzy. We're just little chickens. Hey, chickens, called some big cats. Do you want to try the swings? Thanks, but we might fall off, they replied. We're just little chickens. Then the little chickens saw some frogs and mice playing on the slide. Up, up, up they climbed. Then whee! Down they slid. Hey, chickens, said one of the mice. Climb on up. You're next. Oh, no. It's much too scary, they replied. We're just little chickens. We're little too, said the frogs and mice, but we're not afraid. Come on, give it a try. Well, said the little chickens, maybe. And slowly, step by step, they climbed up the ladder. Oh, they're gonna do it. When they reached the top and looked down, the little chickens were frozen with fear. Slide down, shouted one of the frogs. Don't be such chickens. Chicken Chickens, that's the name of the book. We can't, cried the little chickens. We're afraid. Don't worry, said Beaver. Everybody is afraid the first time they slide. But I have an idea. Let's slide together, said Beaver. Just climb on my tail and hold on tight. The little chickens held on tight and closed their eyes. Whee! Cried Beaver, and down they slid. Down the slide they went. Whee! Whee! Cried the little chickens as they slid off the beaver's tail. We did it! Mother Hen came rushing by. What's wrong, little chickens? She asked. Are you all right? We're fine, said the little chickens. We went down the slide and we weren't scared at all. I let them ride on my tail, Beaver said proudly. Well, thank you for being so nice, said Mother Hen. Just then, she heard her little chickens calling. Look, they cried. We're going to slide down all by ourselves. And wee! That's just what they did. Hurrah! Hurrah! Cried all the animals. Hurrah for the chickens! Whee! Whee! The end. I told you, it's a silly name, Chicken Chickens, but they learned to try something new, to not be a chicken, and to go down the slide. Maybe there's something new that you really want to do that you don't feel brave enough to try. I think you can do it. I think you're going to do a great job. And I'll see you next time on Dad's Read Along Stories.